guys, so it's the next day. Me and Ricky are gonna keep jamming on the fuel system. We got a 10 micron DW fuel filter here that we're gonna mount underneath the battery tray. So this was kind of my initial idea, was to put it somewhere like there, so it's gonna be nice tucked up underneath. And we can run our lines cleanly up under here, back up there, and we can service it from in the wheel well here, so it's gonna tuck it up very nicely and make it very simple in the engine bay. So let's get started. So I've put our fuel rail on here, kind of mock-up without any injectors in it, so we know where it's going to be. Now I can start running my fittings and lines from the fuel rail down to the fuel filter. I'm putting our main fuel line back on. So this line runs from the tank up to the filter. Because we have our filter mounted now, we can size this line appropriately and actually get it cut to length for what we need. This is way too much line, right? Like I can run fuel to the intercooler if we wanted to. That's how much line this is. So, and our filter is like here. So we got all this extra line, so I gotta run this up, figure out where it's going to go, and then cut it, and then get rid of all that, you don't need it, and then reinstall it. We're actually gonna use proper P-clips instead of zip ties, so this is not permanent. And then from there, we'll be done with this line, and then we can move on to the other lines. Hands on. Now I just need to run it in the same loop that I had it already running. I just finished with our feed line, so the AN line. I just finished our feed line from the tank all the way to the fuel filter. Now Brendan's actually going to come in once we get all of our dish work stuff in and actually flesh out the fuel system for us. I'm done as far as mounting goes, so our fuel filter's in the place that we know it's good and can be accessible, and our line is ran and mounted with P-clips, so it's all good. So I'm going to step away from this and start helping Ricky with the bodywork.
All right, well, we're back. It's a new day here at the throtl shop, and we've got Brendan back. You guys probably remember Brendan from Dime PSI. He helped us with the plumbing on the Freak. That was super helpful. So we brought Brendan back down. He's become a great partner to us here at throtl because he makes plumbing your cars simple. That's because he invented this cool product that if you didn't see the Civic video, want to go over it again?
Sure.
I think we should. I think it's cool because not everybody watches all the videos. So Brendan actually invented this. This was your SEMA Innovator of the Year 2 years ago? Last year. And this is essentially a kit to develop hoses for your car without actually making a hose.
So the kit basically contains analogs of every fitting part that we make so that you have an idea of like what fits where, and you can trial a bunch of different shapes and angles to get the perfect thing to route around whatever's there.
Sure.
And then the segments here linked together, which form an analog of how the hose performs, so you can like really fit it on the car and see what's in the way, if there's anything that's going to clash or rub or make it look neat.
Yep.
And then once you have that, you upload to us whatever the spec is. How many of these?
In this case, it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 links at -10. And then you can also go as far as having angles, right? With the
yeah, so then you need to have a clocking angle in it, install one of the dials, and that lets you change the angle between both fittings, so you can look down the barrel of it and then point different directions. So we will clocking angle.
and then you upload this data into your website, and then you guys produce the line, and it shows up at your doorstep.
It comes up like it came
just like it did for us. And that was amazing. I literally plumbed that car in 30 minutes after the hoses were here. It was just boom, boom, boom. Everything's labeled when you get it, so you know where it goes. Fuel pump to fuel filter, boom, done. Fuel pump to fuel tank, boom, done. It's so simple and awesome. This is something that I can't believe nobody thought of. So
me too.
Kudos to you, brother.
I think it looks good when you plan it out, have neat looking plumbing at the end of the build.
I agree.
There's always something in the way, and there's you know, a 15-degree difference between like a 30 and a 45-degree angle makes all the difference in how it looks and neat.
This allows you the opportunity to sort of fiddle around and figure out exactly what you want in the aesthetic.
And if you need it again, your spec is saved. So
if
you need to make another one, or your buddy wants one, you have it there, and you just order it again.
You know, Brendan came down today to help us with the cooling system, the oiling system, as well as our fuel system a little bit. We've got some of the fueling stuff already tackled, but it's exciting. Let's start cranking on it.
Let's do it.
That was easy, and that's just precisely the reason why Brendan created this kit. Now we can have a look. We laid it out how we want it. He's put 180 fittings on off the cooler, which gives us the clearance we need here on our bumper. He added a bunch of length to the hose so that we can tuck everything out of the way. And we're already trying to decide, okay, we're gonna put a P-clamp here to hold this line here. We're already way down the path of figuring this whole thing out, and now he just gets to go back to his shop, whip up the lines, and we'll have them tomorrow, and it's crazy. It's so cool and easy.
Real quick, guys, I just want to let you know that starting tomorrow through the weekend, we're doing a buy one, get one sale on jet tags. So buy one, get one free. Every dollar you spend at throtl.com is going to get you an entry to win our R35 GTR giveaway. We've also restocked all of your favorite throtl apparel that has been sold out, such as this shirt and this hat and loads of other things on the website. So go check that out. Get yourself some jet tags, get yourself some hats and some shirts. Get some entries in to win the GTR. Let's get back to the video.
Brendan just let me know he's all done. We've got quite a few of the hose solutions sorted now, which is awesome. We're lucky to have Brendan local to us, or somewhat local, where he can actually shoot down here, help us out, go back to his shop, actually produce the lines and get them back in a box and on our way back to us pretty quick. But if you guys are in the market to do this sort of plumbing on your car or your race car, utilize his online resource, because you literally, once you buy the kit, as we showed you earlier, you just count the links, tell him the angles, and put it on the website, and boom, he's making hoses for you and they're on their way. So,
or if you know what you need, you can order it manual the old way too. Just give me your length, give me the fittings you need, the clocking, and we can pump them out that way too.
Yes! Santa Claus came early today. So this is one day. Really, it's one business day since Brendan was here to measure for our coolant hoses and our oil cooler lines. And it's as simple as that, guys. You literally tell him what you need and it shows up in a box. Ready to rock and roll. Oh, and he hooked us up with some goodies as well. He knows I love that Flora yellow. Yeah, that's what we're after right there. Oil cooler lines. Got our 180 to our 45. This one says Throtl Eclipse oil line upper 600 PSI okay. I don't think we'll be seeing anything near 600 PSI.
That's crazy.
Crazy pressure. These are the ones I want to look at. These are our big boys. Dash 16. Wow. Throtl Eclipse radiator upper 200 PSI okay. Yeah, so that's our upper. It is going to come like around, so we have clearance for the shifter cables as well as the intake. Man, you can't beat this. Seriously, one day. He was here Friday, it's Monday. Amazing. Let's toss these on. I 3M welded our intercooler piping together in Evan's absence, since I told you guys earlier I don't TIG weld, so I don't TIG weld aluminum. I was able to just whip up all the pipes, get all the connections tight. We've got our Mitsubishi quick release clamps on either end, and yeah, so now this is gonna hang here till Ev gets back from his vacation. When he gets back, I'll have him burn all these in.
Mickey finished up our hot side charge pipe with tape yesterday, so now I gotta disassemble it, get it over to the fab area so Evan can weld it on Monday. So we're gonna disassemble that. I'm also gonna be deleting some of the cooling lines because we're changing up the cooling setup for the turbo, which is gonna be very nice because we don't have liquid coolant going through the oil filter housing now that we have our air to oil cooler installed, so we don't need some of the coolant piping that's in there. And we're just gonna blow all this stuff apart, get it ready for Evan to weld, and then keep cracking on the car. So let's get to it. For anyone wondering, the reason I took it off with the manifold on is because when we got the turbo set up, it already had the turbo and the manifold on, they're already bolted together, so I don't want to crack the gasket. I also never tightened down the manifold to the cylinder head, so that gasket is still fresh, so we should be good.
All right, so we are back. Time to weld on our FP Turbo, the Mitsubishi clamp system. So this is a 2.5-inch clamp. Mickey already got this all prepped for me. I just cleared a little bit away of the tape so I can tack weld this in place. And once I tack it, then I'll take the tape off and weld all the way around. And then once I finish this, it's gonna get exciting because this is gonna go back onto our turbo here. And Mickey already also prepped all the hot side for the intercooler piping. So I'm hoping we can get all the welding done today. The hot side will be completely bolted up. It's gonna look pretty rad. I'm gonna stop wasting any more time talking. Let's get to welding. All right, we are all tacked up, just on one side, but that's all we really need. This is gonna look really good, so I'm gonna go ahead and weld this thing all the way around. We'll be jamming. As I mentioned earlier, Mickey got this all prepped up. This is the hot side intercooler piping. I just tacked everything together. It's all looking good. And it's time to do the finish welding on this as well. Do a little test pass. This material is welding really nicely. So cross my fingers and let's get to work.
So we're reassembling the turbo, and I had to rotate the compressor housing just a little bit to get the wastegate to line up properly. This guy pretty much wants to shoot straight, so originally I had it like down here, and you got to get it clocked right. So luckily this is a snap ring turbo, so it holds the compressor housing onto the carrier in the middle is actually just a big snap ring. When we had it on originally, the snap ring was clocked like, so the ends of the ring were up here. Massive pain, so you have to pull the whole turbo off to adjust it. But I positioned the snap ring lower, so now we can actually adjust it, and we could even pull the compressor housing off if we want to with the turbo still on the car. so I don't have to take everything off. So if we need to make changes, it'll be a lot easier to do it this time, which is nice. We jetted the compressor housing and the wastegate vacuum actuator black. The more important part is we actually welded on our fitting for our intercooler pipe. So that allows us to use a quick release, which is this guy, instead of using one of those rubber couplers for the post pipes because they don't look very good. So we can use that. We also had a step up. So the ID, the inner diameter outlet of the turbo is 1.5 inch. Our intercooler has a 2.5. So the inner diameter is a 2.5 inch instead of 1.5 inch. So we had to jump up from a 1.5 to a 2.25. And that's what this coupler did. And then the quick release clamp is on the end of it. Now the turbo is on properly. It's ready to rock. We have everything set up. And not only are we going to be able to run our hot side intercooler pipe now, but we can also actually install the full exhaust system.
Evan got our Mishimoto clamps welded on, so we're gonna go ahead and toss the STM intercooler back on the front. Man, this is a buff unit. This might as well just be a bumper. Holy cow, this thing's big.
Let's see. Oh, it doesn't fit.
Shit. You know you're talking
Look
to
at
that.
Very nice. Oh, like a glove.
I think it's hot.
Those welds are sick. Ooh.
I also think that's the hot side done.
Oh, that's how you know you nailed it. That's what's up, Ev.
Cool. All right, you've been waiting for this, Mick.
Oh, Amazon? Hell yeah.
Amazon and from STM. Woo! Been waiting on this, right? This is the last piece. Oh,
That is
it's actually pretty light. Look at that. Look at that.
Would you look at that?
Yeah, there's... I am obviously working on intercooler piping, as you can see here. So we're doing the cold side today. We're reusing the elbow that was on the car that we bought. Gonna do some modifications to that before we get it cleaned up. Again, we're gonna be using our Mishimoto quick release clamps and just kind of fashioning the cold side. So as you can see, I already have the, got a Mishimoto clamp on here. We got our 3M weld on there already. Now it's just getting this down to there. So we're getting pretty close to being able to fire this thing. I knocked out the intercooler piping. This is basically how it's gonna look. I think it goes like that, yeah. So, got my 3M welds on here. It's time for Evan to burn some real aluminum welds on these pieces. It's time for me to go take a Hi.
What do we got?
Oh my God, can I get out of the car, dude?
No,
I've been on the road since 7:30 this morning.
I see it.
I did get my starbs though.
Oh.
There it is.
Dang.
Mickey's masterpiece. Looks pretty sick. They did a nice job. Huge shout out to Big East Customs, or BCC Unlimited as they're formerly known as. They really killed it on this one. Can't wait to see it in the car.
AC coming in clutch. Everybody's working so hard right now on the Eclipse.
This is Caltrans.
Look at all these. Look at this stance right now. Dad's stance.
We have the side screw. We are finally going to get to put it on because we got new clips and more clips.
This clips?
Ah! Or new hardware going in. Finally. So now that me and Quinn finished installing the side screw on both sides, we are going to remove this over fender and we are going to replace the self-topper screw for rib nuts. And of course some downstar stuff.
While Ricky is taking care of our rear over fenders, Mickey and I are tackling the front lip, getting this mounted, riv nutted, bolted down, and back on the car.
We are out of time for today's YouTube episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please smash the like button. Real quick, I want to show a couple of things that got done today. All the intercooler piping, the hot side to the cold side is all welded. Mickey and Quinn did a great job prepping that up. We've got our new intake manifold from JMF. That looks bitchin' in there. And we also got all of our lines all set up from Dime PSI, so huge shout out to Brendan for coming down. This setup is just amazing. Upper, lower radiator hoses, oil cooler lines, the works. So I just got off the phone with HRE. The wheels are finally done. I am so excited. I'm pretty sure I nailed the specs. We shall see. If you guys are interested in that, hit that subscribe button. Tune into the next episode, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Later.
Look at that, they wrote the word bung right in here. 1-inch bung. I'll show you a 1-inch bung.
Oh!